what is up, and welcome back to another video. So today we are going to look at which storage device should you buy. So, like for example, most of you might need storage. So I'm very sure that a lot of you in your homes, you have a lot of thumb drive lying around, and sometimes you're very confused which thumb drive is for which. And you might be thinking maybe I should buy a SSD or a hard drive to store all the data into one compact thing so that it's easier for me to look at it whenever I want. But some of you might still be thinking, should I buy a SSD or a HDD? Because nowadays SSDs are very famous, and because of their speed of how they transfer data and everything. So you guys might be thinking, maybe should I get the SSD or the HDD? Because HDDs are cheaper and they have more storage, but SSDs are more expensive and they have lesser storage. So some of you might be thinking, maybe I should just get a HDD, but your friend might say, hey, no, just get a SSD. So today I'm going to tell you guys which one is good for you and which one you should buy. After this video, I'm sure this will help you decide which HDD or SSD you should buy. So but some of you might be a Mac user, and you guys know MacBooks closed system, and some of the files that you have on the SSD might not work when you plug it. For example, you have a Windows computer and you transfer a file to your SSD or HDD, and then you plug it into a Mac. Then you try to open and the file does not open. I'm sure many of us have experienced this issue, be it from the thumb drive or from the HDD or anything. You might have faced this issue. So I'm going to tell you how. So first, so now let me just show you guys my screen here. So, before that, okay, I'm here sharing now, as you guys can see. So here we are in the Apple website as usual. So some of you might be thinking, maybe will the SSD or HDD that I get work with my Mac or my iPad? So here's it. Never buy if you're a Mac user, right? I always recommend you get your HDD or SSD from the Apple Store. I know, of course, it's very expensive, but still, trust me, it's very reliable. I'm not supporting Apple here. Of course, it's expensive. A lot of you want to get it outside. I get my stuff outside. Till now I don't pay. I'm using iPhone for around 3 to 4 years now, but still I've never paid for iCloud, and all my storage, all my photos and stuff is stored on my phone. I don't pay for iCloud, so paying is not many of our things. Many of us things. Many of us would just like to buy the normal storage and just go for it. But now today I'm going to tell you which storage is good for you. So now a lot of people storing things in cloud storage is of course the popular thing right now, but as everyone of us know, it's very expensive. So we are gonna get the HDD or SSD. So let me just search here, storage here. So just move this. So let's just say storage here. Let's click. Okay. Something from here. I'm gonna search storage here. So storage. Okay, this is all for the Mac Pro. So it's the extra SSD slot for the Mac Pro. So we're not gonna look at this. So thumb drive, should you get the thumb drive? My answer is no, simply no. The answer is just no, because thumb drive are very easy to spoil, and it's because it's very handy. You can lose it also, and it will spoil very easily, thumb drives. So now here we have the 1 TB. Let me just off my video here so that you guys can see it. Okay, so now is here we have the LaCie portable hard drive, $139, and here we have the 2 TB one for $189. So I'm just gonna choose the product type. So I'm gonna click for SSD and external hard drives. Okay. So here we are. Okay, so here's it. Here it is. Okay, so we have everything in one page now. Okay, so you have this GTB. This is 10 TB G drive. This is the 5 TB LaCie hard drive, and this is the high TB SSD. Okay, so remember, this is the SSD and this is the external hard drive. So there's a difference, guys. Remember, there's always a difference. And here's the SanDisk 500 GB portable hard drive, portable SSD, sorry. And to here all the different stuff. So before I look at which hard drive or which SSD you should buy, we shall now look at the. I shall now tell you which one should you get, SSD or HDD. So the first one, why do people buy SSD? The simple answer is speed. The transfer speed is insane. The transfer speed on the SSDs are insane nowadays. So you can transfer very, very quickly, be it on the Windows computer or be it on the Mac. So due to the insane transfer speeds, people are going for SSDs. But of course, every advantage has a disadvantage. The disadvantage on SSDs are read and write. So read and write. So I mean, every hard drive or every SSD or hard drive has a read and write, but this is a non-erasable read and write. So let me just explain it to you in layman terms here. So for example, if you download a file, if you share a file of 1 GB to your SSD, the SSD is written. So it's written and the life of the SSD is actually reduced a bit. So every time you transfer it, the file that you transfer is written and stored there, and the life of the SSD is reduced a bit. Just by a little bit. You need not have to worry if you're having SSD now. So it's reduced by a bit. So, but the next time when you read it out, right? So if you're if you're going to move it out of your hard drive, if you're going to move it out of your SSD, sorry, then it's going to go out of your SSD. Then there's going to be another read and write. So you're wearing out your SSD bit by bit. So SSD is like, how to say, let's see, SSD is like an eraser. So okay, I don't have eraser here right now, but yeah, SSD is like an eraser. So every time you erase it, it's gonna erase. So let's say, okay, let's say you write something. Okay, let's say you wrote a mistake and then you're erasing it. It's gonna still erase. Let's say you're just erasing it for like just normal. You're just writing something, and you just have to erase a marker, or you're erasing it. So it's just gonna wear out. No matter, erasers can't be it can't be grown back to its original size. Just the same with SSDs. No matter what you read or you write, it's just gonna rub and it's just gonna reduce the lifespan. So as the eraser go down, it's just going to be unusable, right? So that's the same thing that's going to happen with SSDs here. Because of the high speed and all, they have this read and write. They don't have the mechanical stuff inside. So SSDs tend to wear out very quickly. So SSD's lifespan is around 2 years, if I'm not wrong. So, okay, why should I say if I'm not wrong? Let me just show you guys here. So let me just go to here and let's click a new tab here. Let's say SSD lifespan. So SSD has an age limit of up to 10 years, but this is depending on you using it very, very little. So let's say you're using your SSD for like a very little time. So you're using it for a very, very small time, this is for very basic stuff, just a few here and there plugins, that's it. SSDs are gonna wear out. But if you're someone who's editing of your SSD, for example, you're gonna if you're a YouTuber or you make videos, you make content creations, and then you always use SSD, it's definitely gonna wear out very, very soon, and you're gonna lose your money. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy SSD. Like I said, SSDs are high transfer speeds and compact, and they are small, very lightweight, easy to carry. That's it. That's for SSD. But now let's move on to HDD here. HDDs are mechanical hard drives. Like the one I'm using now, I'm using a LaCie hard drive here. So HDDs do not have read and write. So I mean, they have read and write, but they do not wear out. HDDs are not like erasers. Okay, let's say HDDs are not like erasers. They are like your phone. So for example, I have my phone here. So I have my phone here, right? So my phone. So if I download something on my phone, and after I watch it, for example, if I download a movie on Netflix, it's gonna read to my storage. And then after I watch the movie, I'm gonna delete it, right? So after I delete it, it's gonna go back to it's gonna go back to its original state. I mean, of course, this SSD inside here, so yeah, like I said, so it's gonna go back to its original state. So no matter what I read and write, right? So if I, for example, if I download a movie onto my HDD, and after I watch it, after I do whatever my stuff with it, after I edited it or anything, I'm just gonna export it back to my computer, right? So after I export it back to my computer, the HDD is not gonna be affected. It's still gonna work. It's still gonna work. Normally, it doesn't have the wearing out issues. It's not like the eraser, you erase it and it's gonna wear out. No, nothing. It's just gonna stay the same. So you might ask, so now your question might be, so how do HDD spoil? It's simple. There's this ball bearing inside here. So HDDs actually work with this ball bearing inside it. So when they ball, so there's actually oil inside the ball bearing, right? So inside this ball bearing here. So when the oil wears out inside it, HDDs tend to become slower and tend to spoil. So you might be thinking, so is there a way for me to refill the oil inside it like for my bicycles? Unfortunately, no, you don't have. So you might be thinking again, now your question might be, so how do I stop this oil from wearing out? Use a HDD often. So whenever you plug in a HDD, it's gonna run. So the ball bearing is gonna spin and it's gonna run. So the oil is not gonna dry up inside there, and it's gonna circulate and circulate. So you'll have a longer life. So use a HDD often. So HDDs, because this ball bearing inside here, it doesn't have this read and write on that. It doesn't have this eraser kind of stuff there. It's gonna last you longer, and it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you in your editing. But of course, this has disadvantages. But before we talk about disadvantages, let me continue on this. So HDDs are, of course, HDDs are slower, but HDD have a longer lifespan, and you need not have to worry about it crashing halfway and all. So HDDs here. So what are the disadvantages of HDDs? Of course, longer lifespan, that's of course a disadvantage. It's slower, it's more heavier, and it's harder to carry around. It's bulky. That's this here. So now you might have thought, maybe what HDD or SSD should I buy? So as you guys know, Windows computer work on simply any HDD or any SSD. They don't have to have a certain file format for it to work. But as you know, Macs are not like that. Macs need a certain file format in order for the file to work on this Mac. But sometimes when you, for example, you're using a normal thumb drive and you transfer a file onto your Windows computer, and you copy a file from your Windows computer and you want to use it on your Mac. But sometimes it might not work. You might say different file format is not working, and that's when Apple comes to your rescue. Okay, no, okay, now I'm fine. I'm sounding like Apple salesperson, but no, that's this is from my personal experience. I actually tried to transfer files from my SanDisk thumb drive onto my Mac. So I copied a file from the Mac from the Windows computer onto my Mac, and apparently, and of course, the file didn't work. So I had to go get this SSD. So let me show you this. So now we are at the Apple website. So that's when the Apple website comes in. I showed you guys at the start of the video. So here we are. Just put it to full screen here. So here we have this LaCie hard drive and the LaCie SSD. So of course now the SSD is up to you. Which SSD you wanna, which you wanna get the HDD or the SSD. So for example, you're getting the HDD, let me just recommend you. So HDD or SSD, LaCie is the one for you. This is the best. So because this is from my personal experience, I've not used Geeetech or any other brand. Geeetech or SanDisk I've not used. So I'm currently using LaCie hard drive here. So mine is the, let me show you here. Mine is the 5 TB external hard drive here. So I actually got this a few like 2 years ago, and it's perfectly working fine for me till now. And so, like I said, HDD are cheaper. HDDs are cheaper, but they have a shorter lifespan. Okay, so now HDD. Wait, let me check. So HDD. So there's this LaCie 1 TB HDD for $369, and there's this 5 TB hard drive that I bought for $269. So like I said, these are very expensive. LaCie's hard drives are very, I mean, not just LaCie's, but any brand's SSDs are way more expensive than hard drives. So now, which hard drive should you buy? Hard drive SSD should you buy? So for me, so first let's talk about the SSDs here. There's this LaCie SSD and this SanDisk SSD and G-Tech SSD. So which SSD should you get? Based on my personal experience, I recommend you getting the SanDisk or LaCie, but if you're a Mac user, I recommend LaCie more. Because LaCie's file format, the way LaCie works is actually quite different. So for example, you have a Windows computer. So you transfer a file from your Windows computer onto your LaCie hard drive, and then you want to use it on your Mac. So what LaCie hard drive does is, right, it actually changes the file format from the Windows capable to capable of it opening on Windows computer. So it's changing the file format to the Mac version when you plug it on a Mac. So it changes it to a Mac version, and you are able to use it smoothly without any stuttering or any problems. So when you plug it back into your Windows computer, it changes the file format again to the Windows file format for you to be able to use it on the Windows computer. So that's how LaCie works. So now with LaCie hard drive, you're able to use it on both Windows and Mac without any problems. So it doesn't have any stuttering, any problems at all, any problems with file format, nothing. It works perfectly fine. So now that's LaCie. So let's go on to SanDisk. Because okay, so why does LaCie have this seamlessness? It's very simple. As you can see here, only at Apple. So it's meant for Apple MacBooks and stuff. So that is the reason for this seamlessness here. So yeah, like I said, buying an SSD or HDD is up to your personal preference, which one is good for you. So I'm not going to talk about it. So here, so that's it. So now let's moving on to the G-Tech. So G-Tech is a quite a good brand, but I will not say G-Tech is reliable. Of course, people are using G-Tech. I'm not saying it's bad and all, bad or anything. So, but G-Tech is LaCie is at the top of the reliability for the SSDs, but SSD or hard drives. But if you look at G-Tech, G-Tech isn't such a reliable brand. But of course, I'm not saying G-Tech is useless. It's gonna spoil and sometimes it's gonna burst. I'm not saying that. G-Tech is good. It's working for it's good for you, but it actually depends on your personal preference. So, but I've not used G-Tech before in my life. I've never used G-Tech before. So I cannot say a fully review on G-Tech, but G-Tech isn't really that reliable according to my research here. So so if you're someone who uses a G-Tech and you think it's reliable for years, then please do leave it down in the comments below here. Okay, so and now here we have the LaCie. You have the LaCie 5TB RUC USB, and you have the normal HDD and the portable. You have the normal one and the RUC one. So which HDD should you buy? There's nothing different. There's no difference with the LaCie 5TB with the RUC hard drive and the normal one. Both are actually the same. So it actually depends on your personal preferences here. So let me just open this. Let's wait for you to load here. So 5TB. 5TB apparently not available here. As you know, okay, its durability with cutting edge USB-C. And yes, plenty of storage capability. Of course, this is drop resistant. And but of course, okay, yeah, guys. So the main thing about it, the main disadvantage about SSD hard drives is that once you drop a hard drive, that is the end of it. It's gonna give you problems after problems. This is from personal experience. I'm not talking about some from story that I read online. This is personal experience. Once you drop a HDD on HDD on the floor, or if you drop it from a table or somewhere, that is the end of HDD. Even though it's gonna work, it's definitely gonna give you guys problem, and it might cause data loss in the future. So once if you have ever dropped your HDD and you're thinking, okay, so it's working fine. I don't really need to change it that much. I don't really have to change it. It's working fine. Don't. Your HDD might spoil anytime. You might never know, but it will spoil anytime. So that's the disadvantage of HDDs here. Once you drop, that is the end of it. Even though it will work, it will cause problems in the future. But SSDs are not like that. Even if you drop SSDs, so it's gonna work. So that's the disadvantage of HDDs. So now, okay, so which one should you get? Personal preference. this has a better drop resistance, of course. Even if you accidentally drop it, there's this side. You as you can see here, this is the rubber side here. This will protect your HDDs from the direct impact on the floor. So it has this outer layer which protects the HDDs from slamming onto the floor even if it falls. But apparently this HDD with stainless steel with aluminum casing does not have that protection. So once it falls, that's the end of it. So now this for people who are more prone to getting their HDDs slammed or getting their HDDs dropped. So the 1 TB RUG, so the LaCie RUG USB-C hard drive is for those who are more into this. Your HDDs are more prone to getting hit. So this for those who are more adventurous or HDD, who brings the HDD outside. So now let's click at this mobile drive here. LaCie mobile drive here. So LaCie mobile drive. So you get it. This is simply for those of you who are going to use it on the table. You're just going to keep it at home, or you're going to keep it in your office. You're just going to be there for your editing and all. This is good. So yeah, this LaCie hard drive delivers you space. Okay, so as you can see, it's space, it backs up smoothly. And of course, this is a diamond technology here. So actually very good. I'm actually using this LaCie. I'm using the 5 TB hard drive here. I'm using the 5 TB hard drive here. So it's actually working very good for me till now. I'm using it for like 2 to 3 years now. And it's working perfectly fine. So actually, personally, my personal recommendation is get the LaCie mobile drive hard drive here, and you can actually order it and get it shipped to your home, of course. And so yeah, guys. So let me just stop the screen share here. Okay, guys. So that is it at the end of this video here. I hope I have clarified some of your doubts. I'm not a storage expert here, but based on my experience and based on my research, I have shown you guys what you should buy, HDD or SSD, or which HDD or SSD you should buy if you are using a Mac or a Windows. So I've shown you guys. So I hope you guys like this video. And yeah, guys, so that is it for the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.